Welcome, friends, to the Soul Talk podcast, a show where we explore and uncover the path to the heart, amplifying your conscience. Join me as we meet incredible souls who are in this journey and learn from their experience and different methods that will make you vibrate your heart. Let's get into it. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank everybody for being here in the June Healing Portal. And my co-host, it is Tywanah Evette, that I'm gonna be presenting her because she's gonna be talking too. And just let me explain a little bit where is coming the June Healing Portal. It comes from the Healers Helping Healers community that we're forming, and it is basically a collaborative reunion between healers where we're supporting each other in ourselves and also in our own business. We're trying to have more visibility and having the support that we actually need. We get together once a month, and also we do once a month publicly the Healing Portal. And that's basically what is the Healing Portal. So, Tywanah, do you want to present our first? You're in mute, love.
I was trying to get the background noise to go away, my love. Why don't you present the first one and let me get it up on my screen, Lovey, because
Okay,
tech is slow right now.
I get you. Okay, the first speaker is going to be Alyson Williams. Her talk is going to be how to bring calmness to the presence of pressure. Alyson is known as self-love alchemist, as a mindset transformational coach based in Canberra, Australia. She empowers professional women to overcome imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs to the best model belief system empowerment, self-love, transformation to thrive, helping them to create lives aligned to confidence and authenticity. Alyson is an NLP master coach, relationship coach, hypnotherapist, emotional fitness specialist, energy healer. Alyson blends practical and holistic tools to support the deep inner change. Her approach of focus on building self-reliance step by step, helping women reconnect with their worth and then move forward to lasting transformation. She's also a speaker and a writer who has contributed to Brains magazines and Careers Champion. And their gifts we're going to be giving it to the at the end of to everybody and during the talks of each other. So thank you, Alyson, for being here.
Thank you, Monica. My extreme pleasure. And lovely to meet the people I don't know. I do know, as I say, ladies, because there are ladies I don't know. Mark, I do know. So I actually thought, given that we are all healers of one kind or another, what I would do today is talk about how to bring calmness in the presence of pressure, because we know how much our energy is important to keep our own energy clean. And when we're having a conversation that has the potential to bring some friction or some conflict, being able to keep the calmness, not just for us, but also for the other person, is a really beautiful environment to have that conversation. Because, of course, when tempers flare, then nothing gets done and relationships get fractured or even broken. So, thank you for the opportunity to be and talk to you all. I'm very excited. So, this is what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to talk about the emotional fitness formula as a bit of homage to the man who's brought me all this sort of awareness. And then I'm going to talk about the three aspects. There are actually 21 elements that Joe, my mentor, gave us, but I've just sort of done it into categories to make it a bit more easier to digest and make sense, or to my brain anyway. Now, if I talk too fast, please tell me to slow down. And if you have questions, I'm quite happy. I'm going to ask, how long do I have? Just give me a minute's
Do you want me
warning.
to put the counter timer, or do you want me to just
Yeah,
let
no,
you
a
know
timer
it's
would be
60
fabulous.
seconds?
Those of you who know me know that I can talk the hind leg off a donkey.
Go ahead, darling. I'll give you the minute.
Okay, thank you, love. Okay, getting my tech head on. And then I'm going to talk about how to bring calmness in the presence of pressure using these three categories. So the emotional fitness formula was developed by my mentor, Joe Pane. He's a coach, he's a speaker, he's a facilitator. He's an amazing guy. You can check him out. He has a podcast called Insights with Joe Pane. And every week he's got some wonderful gold that he shares. The emotional fitness formula is also a training program, and it's built on 5 pillars: identity, life stages, values, and emotional flexibility. And then, of course, there's perspective, because when you can change your perspective on things, suddenly things take on a whole different hue, a whole different element of understanding and meaning, because we are meaning making machines. So when we know how to change the meaning of something to be more uplifting and empowering, then life is happening on our terms. The quality of our life is really, gets amplified. So emotional fitness really says is to help people become reliable under pressure, make wiser decisions in times of uncertainty, and build lives of greater resilience, meaning, and fulfillment. And that's why I really love this work, because it just permeates everything that we do, everything that we are as humans. So this is the aspect of, and I can't see the time, I'm sorry. This is the aspect of having presence. So when you're in a situation that maybe, has the ability to sort of, where the temperature can rise, to have this relaxed, calm eye contact. So making eye contact, as we know, makes the other person feel seen. And it gives them that sense that we are actually listening to them, we value them. So it gives them the sense that we are not worried about us as much as we're worried about them and the communication between us. So having that compassionate eye contact is a signal that they feel calm and safe as well. Now, even if it's a stressful situation, the trick is, of course, never to show stress, because when we feel stressed internally, it kind of shows in everything, particularly the way we speak, because, of course, the heart goes, faster, and the words get faster, or you lose your train of thought, whatever it might be. So never show stress, even if you're feeling it internally. Keep your face, your voice, and your body calm and clear. And grounding, of course, your feet is a beautiful way to do that. And this is, I guess, a teacher's trick. Lower your voice instead of raising it. So when you're a teacher in a classroom, the kids are getting really loud. A lot of rookie teachers go loud as well, which just raises the noise level even more. But if you drop your voice, then the kids sort of have to stop and listen. And that's, again, something that you can do if you're in a situation that might be feeling a little bit sort of high pressure, to lower the voice. And that just brings everything down. The other thing, that I'm a really big fan of boundaries. And in a conversation, particularly if someone is trying to push your button, so to speak, they might try and do something to take the power away from you. So as soon as they sort of do something, just tell them very kindly and calmly, look, I'd rather you just lowered your voice a bit, whatever it might be, but do it straight away so it doesn't escalate. This one, again, is about how we deliver. So speak and move deliberately. Now, if you're like me and you talk at a million miles an hour anyway, it is quite a trick, let me tell you. But I know in times when there's a bit of friction or potential friction, I do try and slow down. And when you can slow down your speech and your movements, it also makes the other person feel a lot more calm. I know there are some people whose natural energy levels are much lower than mine. So when I'm doing particularly a coaching session or something with them, I try and match them, so I'm not kind of making them feel a bit anxious because I'm going too fast or talking too loud. So being aware of the other person and just slowing your speech. And if you're obviously face to face, then moving deliberately and slowly. And the power of the pause. This is something which is still a challenge for me, right? So pause before you respond. So having that little kind of 2-second stop before you answer them, again, it makes the conversation serious, like you're taking it seriously, and it gives them the impression that you are thinking about what you're saying. You're not just shooting from the hip. So that too is something that again helps to calm down the whole situation. And when they say something, the best, we all want to feel heard, we all want to feel understood, we all want to feel seen. So when someone says something to you, especially if it's one of these pressure situations, acknowledge what they said. You don't have to agree with it. You just have to agree that yes, they've said it, or yes, it's a valid point, or yes, I hear you. Yes, I hear where you're coming from, right? So you acknowledge them and you validate them. So therefore, they're going to be much more open to listening to what you have to say. Now, I'm again one of these smiling monkeys. I smile all the time, but it says to smile less so that when you do smile, you mean it and it really has an impact. This is about creating contrast. So, if you're kind of smiling all the time, they don't know if you're smiling because you're laughing at them or you're enjoying what's really a stressful situation. They don't really know, right? So making sure that you're not kind of smiling inappropriately is a good thing to do. But then when you do smile, it then sort of, it's a bit like a light in the darkness. They can see, okay, now we're actually connecting as well. And when you smile with warmth, it actually dilutes a really tense situation, especially if they're feeling that you've got the power and they haven't. So the important thing is, especially in any situation, whether it's creating a program, whether it's a conversation, whatever it might be, it's knowing what your purpose is and knowing what the outcome you want. So in terms of this, it's really about using silence as a tool, because sometimes silence can be just the best way to de-escalate. But somebody's getting really hyped up and really anxious or angry, just sort of be quiet, wait till they calm down. One of the coaching school I went to, they were teaching us about sales. And the woman who owned the school she's quite a force of nature. Not my cup of tea, but definitely a very good coach and a great saleswoman. And she was saying, this is in the old days when they used to do everything on the phone. And she said that she was on a phone call with the other person and there was silence and she wasn't going to break the silence. So there was a 12-minute gap of silence before the other person broke the silence. Because the thinking is that the first person who breaks the silence kind of loses. Not that it should be a win-lose situation, but people often, and that used to be me very much, maybe still part of me, when there's silence, you kind of want to fill it because it feels awkward. So this is, again, another learning that has been, something along my journey, to use silence as a tool because it slows things down. It also creates space and it also reduces emotional intensity. If people are getting really hyped up, giving them time to calm down, that is using the silence to work for both of you. But it definitely puts the ball in your court as the other one who's kind of leading. And if they want to break it, then they break, and then you can take it from there. Now, if anything I'm saying doesn't make any sense, we can do some Q&A afterwards. And projecting certainty is really important because people want to know that you're certain about what you're saying. That gives you authority and credibility. If you're not certain about what you're saying, they're not going to buy what you're saying. And again, in terms of a pressure situation, being certain about the outcome you want and not letting them hijack the whole conversation is important too. So your tone, your body language, your presence, everything will communicate the stability and the certainty. And then they follow that. The other one is then prioritize purpose over performance. So focus on what you're there to do rather than how you're being perceived. Whether they like you or they don't like you or you like them or you don't like them is irrelevant. It's what are we here for? Let's get this done. And the last thing is obviously, well, not obvious, it's always, leave people better than you found them. I think there's healers and people who are here to make a difference in the world. That matters to us. So aim to leave the person feeling better, feeling clearer, calmer, respected, or even more resourceful. Because maybe in this situation, they actually haven't had the resources that you have, and you've been able to give them some strategies or some ways of being or some ways to solve the problem or to resolve the situation, whatever it might be. So those are the ones that I categorized, and I realize there's one important one that isn't there. However, these are the ones that I haven't put in categories. I didn't feel that they were quite as important. And number 6 was need less from the interaction that they do. So stay detached from needing to win or to prove or to control the outcome, because then that keeps you less focused on what you're doing and what you're saying, because it doesn't really matter. as long as the other person feels heard and seen and the purpose is met. And the purpose sometimes might be just that you are able to have a conversation. That just might be step one of a longer process. Now, the other thing is dress like an authority, because when you present yourself with self-respect, with quiet authority, you're also respecting them by showing like, hey, I respect you because I'm not wearing my gym gear to meet you. Even if I'm meeting on Zoom, I'm actually taking the time to groom and to look good for you. Ask more than you tell. So lead with curiosity. Questions are absolutely a best way to connect with people. We all want to talk about ourselves. We all want to talk about how we feel. So when we question what the other person is thinking or feeling, and we are curious rather than making assumptions, then again, that is a beautiful way for them to feel that they are important in this discussion. Also, anchoring your body, keeping your body still and balanced and grounded means you're not kind of, I'm very much use my hands as well. So making sure that your whole body language isn't over the top. And I don't know why I've got 12 again. This one is prioritize respectability over likability. So again, it's about choosing your self-respect and your integrity over wanting to please them or because you want them to like you. And be unpredictable, because when you're unpredictable, that can again, calm a situation that's getting very heated. Or if they're expecting you to be heated, maybe you can actually raise your voice and then bring it down. And that way you're able to regulate the situation where you are actually the one driving. Lowering your voice instead of raising it is a little bit like we said before. It's also a bit like the silence. And let people explain themselves all the way, because when they can feel that they're fully heard, that actually gives them a sense of calmness in themselves. That will bring the whole thing down. And speak in short, decisive sentences. So use concise, clear language, so your message is stable, focused, and trustworthy. So those are just some of the tools that I was given only last week, which I just love. I thought I'd love to share that with you because so many of you wonderful souls, I was actually talking to Tywanah and Monica, you have all these wonderful supernatural gifts. I'm not as gifted in that realm. My gifts are more earthly bound. So I just wanted to share some of the more earthly bound tools and strategies I have with you. So if you have any questions, if you've got time, I'd love to take that. If not, I'm happy to pass over.
You still have 3 minutes.
Oh, Sophia, okay. Well, I'd just love to know, again, any thoughts that you had on that, or if you have any of your own experiences you'd like to share with us.
First of all, brilliant information, especially with us being healers. Those were such fabulous tips, Alyson. Thank you so much for preparing them.
Thank you.
Great information.
And I think this is wonderful for the people that actually are more emotional. I get my emotions get into me, and sometimes that's when I lose the control, or the people wants to stop even listening to me. So those are great points. Thank you so much, Alyson.
My pleasure. I'm glad they were useful.
I think that they're incredible points that translate everywhere. Because I've spent my life working in a corporate environment, and I was watching everything you were doing. I'm like, yes, I would have wanted to sign all my employees up for that particular class. So it was excellent, really. Thinking about how to keep control of a room and how to engage people that don't necessarily agree with you, without losing the focus. So that was really, really good. I took some notes.
Oh, I'm glad. As I said, this is from my coach, Joe Panner. He's just the most amazing man. And even the things that I know that I've been doing anyway, or I understand, he just takes it to another level. And so he's a gift in my life. So I'm so glad I was able to share some of that with you and you found value.
Yeah.
So thank you for that feedback.
I've had formal training that was very similar to this, and every one of them is on point, and I have used all of them because I've been used to, for 27 years, I addressed a large number of staff members because I worked in human resources for a school board. And I can tell you, when you're talking to, the custodial staff as opposed to the superintendents, it doesn't matter because you still need to command the same type of attention. And every one of them is very, very accurate, and they do work. My particular favorite, and I've told my kids this, is if we're having a conversation and you're not listening, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm going to lower my voice if I have to a whisper, because then you have to stop to hear me.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorites still to this day.
It is, as I said, it's a teacher's trick, like an experienced teacher's trick, not a rookie teacher. And I've been that rookie teacher that, the class was really loud and I got louder, and that was just a nightmare teaching around. So I learned to do the opposite. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you guys got value from that. I know in my own life, when I think I was brought up to be assertive by an assertive woman. And so I've always been able to state my case quite clearly. I was then called that B word, right? So knowing all these tools is great. Thank you, Tywanah. Thank you, everyone.
Well, and the information of Alyson, you can find it in the chat. So her links and her free gifts are there for everybody who wants to catch that out. And our next speaker, it is Tywanah Evette. And Tywanah is also known as the Thunderbird Rising. Carries her name rooted in her Shinnecock lineage that passed down through the for the great grandfather. Let me just move this here because it's too far away and I couldn't see. It reflects not only her ancestry but responsibility. The disciple is steward of. I don't know why my eyes are messing up today. Or what is inherent in the conscious authorship. I'm so sorry about this. As an integrational authority strategist, our founder of the Veil and the Flame, Tywanah advised women entering visible institutional power of stabilized authority before expansions magnified inherits conditioning. Her work examines the integrational patterns shaping the leadership, decision-making, and visibility, ensuring influence rests on the conscious structure rather than conscious repetition. Tywanah is also a two best-selling author, integrates the structure, psychological patterns, mapping lineage, informed inquiry, and discipline energetically recalibration into private immersions and advisory engagements. Her approach is deliberate, discreet, and designed for women whose leadership shapes the capital, culture, and policy. And first of all, I wanted to share with everybody, like, I'm integrating. I had a big integration, a healing, and my vision for some reason is not working well. I'm so sorry. Tywanah, it is always my pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much, Monica. And you did beautifully with pronouncing Shinnecock correctly. I'm so impressed. So much gratitude for being here today. Today, we're going to talk about what does it mean to rise. We know a lot of people are using that word, but before the world started using it, my mother whispered it to me 2 years ago. And I'm thinking, okay, the word rise. This is great. We're going to rise this year. We're going to rise this year. And it was a lot of integration. A lot. But what does it actually mean? It means more than getting up and getting out of bed and getting yourself ready and doing for others. RISE is actually an acronym in my world. And again, given to me by my ancestry. It stands for reclaiming our intuition, illuminating our purpose, stabilizing our nervous system, self-love, and empowerment. When we do all of those, we can truly rise, ascend, soar, way beyond any heights that we ever believed we could. Reclaiming our intuition would be step one. We're taught as little children, no, don't do that. No, you don't have imaginary friends. No, it's okay. Go sit on Uncle Johnny's lap. We have taught our children to not trust their inner knowing. So here we all are as healers, on the middle to the second leg of the journey, right? And unlearning everything we learned. And a lot of that had to do with not listening to our intuition. Like, how many of us, I know I could have been saved from a lot if I had just listened. This okay? I knew my sister would get me. Christine, thank you. If I had just listened, right? If I had just listened to my intuition when my intuition was screaming, run, or we pass it off as butterflies. It's not butterflies, it's a warning. Our intuition warns us, leads us, guides us. And if we make every decision based on tapping into the sacral area, we can never go wrong. Every decision that I made, listening to my intuition, has been correct. When I listened to this, yeah, we were all over the place. We were dating the wrong people. We were friends with the wrong people, supporting the wrong people, and you get the message. Illuminating our purpose. Well, how? Thunderbird Rising, how do I know my purpose? You listen to your intuition. You listen to your angels, your ancestors, your guides. What is that one pain point that before your healing journey you would run from? That's your purpose. When we shine a light on it and dust the shadows off and become friends with them, we know who we are. We know why we're here. Illumination, shining the light. Stabilizing our nervous system. Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Our nervous system is affected by our external and internal environments. So if you live in a rough neighborhood, your nervous system is in shock. If you don't have adequate support or love, your nervous system takes the hit. And it can take years to reclaim your nervous system. I know that my experience with my ex, the first night I moved into my apartment after our relationship ended, I spent in tears and shaking because the man next door was saying things to his wife that I had been listening to for years. And it took 2 years to get my nervous system to not do this every time someone yelled, to not flinch every time there was a loud noise or a loud bang. And even my puppy, if there's a loud noise or a plastic bag coming from nowhere or fire or something like that, she flinches because even animals' nervous systems are controlled by their environments. And the first year of her life, we did not live in a safe space. So we have to stabilize our nervous system and don't try to bypass it. There's no way to bypass it. There's no quick fix. Just allow your body to release and find help, like us, the healers helping healers. Yes, that's what we do. Self-love and empowerment. We hear all this, self-love that. We think, it's all day spas and pedicures. And while that is an act of self-love, a boundary is the biggest act of self-love you could ever give yourself and the people around you. I loved that Alyson pointed out boundaries. It was one of the first things she said, because setting a boundary says, I'm drawing the line in the sand and I love myself too much for you to treat me with unkindness and disrespect when I am treating you with respect. I've had to draw that line in the sand with my oldest child, saying, okay, you're raising your voice and I'm speaking to you in a very calm and composed manner. I will discontinue this conversation if you continue. That's not mom that she's used to. She's used to mom that would raise an octave and, go at it. But instead, as Alyson so eloquently pointed out, which is why I was so excited during her talk, now I get even calmer because you're not going to, I don't care whether I pushed you out of my body, whether you're related to me or you're not. If I'm showing respect, I expect respect. It's a non-negotiable. So, and then empowerment. What is empowerment? It means you believe in you. It doesn't come from the outside world. You're not empowered by other people. You're empowered because you're here. You're empowered because you know you're here to serve the collective. There is a greater good. There are people that we all serve every day in spiritual capacities and shamanic capacities. They depend on us. So being empowered means, again, back to Alyson's talk, and it's one of the million reasons I love her so much. Being empowered means you know what you know and you stand firm in that authority. So that's what Rise is. That's why a lot of the programs that I create and the things that I do are about rising, because just like the phoenix, before the phoenix, there was the Thunderbird. And just like the phoenix, I've had to rise from the depths of HE double hockey sticks and blaze a trail. And I would do it all over again. And I will continue to do it because there are people waiting for me. Just like my mother shared when I tried to not be here anymore. And she sent me back. She said, women are waiting for you. In other words, in Leo energy, that means, excuse me, you have things to do. What are we doing here? Why are you here? That's what that translates into. I am here to rise. My great-great-grandfather, chief of the Shinnecock Nation. All of you know where Shinnecock is, right? Right? I bet everyone a coffee, you know exactly where Shinnecock is. Angela's laughing at me because she knows this juicy little tidbit. Oh, it's called the Hamptons. The government dishonored a treaty between my great-great-grandfather and took that land from my lineage. I had land there. So I always joke and say, I'm going to tell Anna Garden, get out of my house. Because she's got, the best kitchen. So, and I'm a cook. But that's what it means to rise. My name is not Thunderbird Rising because I chose it. It chose me. My great-great-grandfather trusted me and named me after the woman who preserved the little bit of history of our lineage. He named me Thunderbird Rising so that I could continue to carry this torch for my lineage. And for those who don't know, I'm Native American, Irish, and Bayesian, aka West Indian. So not really a combination that too many people want to meet. So that's what it is to rise. It's to take your torch, and no matter how heavy it gets, continue on, because there are people waiting for us. Does anyone have any questions?
It was wonderful to know where it was your tribe was. Yes, sorry, cannot pronounce it well. From the Hamiltons. I did not have a clue until you told me where it was. Unfortunately, that's been happening a lot. Now, about rice. Yes, we forget as many times that we fall, we have to rise up. And that sometimes it is very confusing for many to know how.
Mhm.
So this is wonderful what this talk. Thank you so much, Tywanah.
My pleasure. Thank you for always. You're an amazing friend, Monica. And every day I get to know more about you and love more about you. So thank you. Yes, ma'am. I saw your beautiful hand go up.
I just want to say, Joanna, your whole rise concept and program, and I can't even think of the word, that whole philosophy is absolutely what I believe and what I do as well. And that's another reason I think we're so, we have so much connection with each
Alignment.
other. But when you were
Mhm.
talking about your grandfather and your heritage, oh my gosh, I've still got goosebumps going down, my whole body as you were talking about that. So I absolutely just felt the power of that. And I just wanted to not so much acknowledge it, but say thank you for sharing that. I kind of felt it. And you're so
Absolutely.
lucky to have it. Thank you for sharing
I
it.
I um I am very fortunate. When the chief placed his headdress on my head, he said, "You're ready now." And I found his photo on Facebook 3 days later.
Wow.
So, and
Awesome.
Thunderbird Rising's photo.
Yeah.
So
So I have a
gratitude.
question.
Absolutely,
Um,
Mom.
can you give an example, because you've obviously worked with people and it doesn't really matter who they are, but can you give some examples of pain points? Because you said, what is the one pain point before your healing journey that you would run from? Can you give me some examples from your experience, what people have given for that?
Pain points from my healing journey. I just want to be clear.
Not even necessarily yours. I'm just trying to define pain point for myself. So I'm just random examples is okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you're meeting the same person in different bodies,
Okay.
um, if you keep finding yourself in the same situation. So I'm very transparent and open about my life. One of the things that was a problem in my lineage was I would get money and it was like pouring water through my hands. And it wasn't because I was out frivolously spending. It was because there was a vow that my great 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 grandmother Jerusha and Reeve took because she survived the Irish famine and then was came to the US on a boat and was eliminated for being who she was. So that was transferred down. I deal a lot with ancestry and lineage, and so that was transferred down into my DNA. I kept finding myself in the same position, like, wow, I get this large sum of money, and then I help somebody save their house or whatever, and never get it back. Why is this happening? And instead of saying why, I had to start asking what? What am I learning? Um, ener- Energetic wise, children. All three, like when all three of my children walked out of my life at the same time. It was crazy. They didn't even speak to each other at the time, but they all just wanted nothing to do with me. That was the biggest wake up call for me. That was the biggest pain point. And I made a conscious decision in that moment to do it or exhaust myself trying. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in the word try. You either do or you don't. So those are just a couple of examples, and I hope I was able to shed some light on the question. But the most common one that I see is that repetitious cycle of
Yep.
meeting the same person in a different body. I knew when I met Christine, you're just getting to know me, but you'll hear me refer to my daddy because I was a
Mm-hmm.
daddy's girl. And then you'll hear me refer to my father. My father did the most damage. Um, where was I going with that? I kept meeting him, versions of him in the people that I was choosing around me. And the one who was most like him was the reason I tried to exit.
Okay. No, that makes perfect sense and definitely ties in with some of the things from Monica's previous classes about contracts and vows and programs and things like that, and stories that you keep on replaying.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure. My absolute pleasure. Anyone else have any questions?
Now, do you want to present the next speaker?
Yes, I was trying to pull it back up because my phone rang and it threw the my little thing. I have it here though, darling. So now why did it do that? It's coming up. Here we go. So Sophia, the one who flows with the river, is going to, you know, I have nothing but respect for the name because I understand the history of it. Since a spontaneous spiritual awakening in 1993, Sophia, the one who flows with the water, has supported friends, family, and community members in returning to their soul truth. Beneath the illusion of separation, there is only love. From the soul's eternal perspective, sin, sickness, and death are not the truth of who we are, who and what we are. Excuse me. The writing is kind of small and I need new glasses. In 2018, during a sacred water and fire ceremony, and boy, I'm looking right at it, in Vernon, British Columbia, Chief White Buffalo bestowed upon her the name, the one who flows with the water. Following a profound life review experience, Sophia gained deep insight into the subconscious mind, the source and expression. This experience inspired her to develop consciousness-based approaches that assist others in releasing emotional burdens, transforming limiting patterns, and remembering their true essence, love. Through compassionate guidance, reflective tools, and frequency-based directives, Sophia empowers others to restore inner peace, awaken their authority to their authentic selves, I transposed the words, and live with greater clarity, freedom, and well-being. Her offering is rooted in the vision of a world awakened to the truth that we are source expression. Misery and discontent arise when we are misidentified out of resonant frequency with aspects of self or perceiving through separation, dualistic thinking, and conflicting ideas. Clarity naturally arises when distortions are cleared from the attractor field. Welcome, Sophia, the one.
Thank you, Tywanah. And thank you, Monica, for providing this space for us to share. Every day, I'm thanking you, sending gratitude for you inviting me into this Healers Helping Healers group. It actually made me stretch and clean up the website and also to create the Google Calendar to do my free offering. So I've had some really amazing sessions since that. And my website is Freedom Dove, and the acronym for Dove is Divine Oneness, Vitality, Enlightenment. So in order for the name and the dove is my spirit animal, and I'm here. I know what my purpose is here is to bring peace, to bring inner peace, to assist others and give others the experience of the oneness of life. And it has taken me a while to get into the gist of things. But I know that, the more I hold true to what I've been shown, the more the external world's going to reflect my inner knowing, what I know to be true, right? So I would call myself an expert in the subconscious and what consciousness is. And a lot of people will hear that word, but they won't really comprehend what that word actually means, right? So, and also how we create reality, or how reality is created. And in relation to the human design, this beautiful expression of source energy that we came into physical form to play in this physical reality. Florence Shovshin, she describes it very well. And it's what actually listening to her teachings and the teachings of Neville Goddard that really helped me to amalgamate all of the experiences that I've ever had. My awakening to healing did come in 1983. And also, I was going to get you to give me a 1 minute because I can talk and share. So, so in 1983, I went to a healing circle and was activated. Energy entered me, and it brought back memories, even though because of the experiences I've had as a child that I had forgotten about, and which I was reminded of when I had the life review in November 2000. On November 3rd, 2000, where I was in a depressed state and I didn't want to be here anymore because it was just not what I thought it was going to be. It's like, I've done everything that I thought I was supposed to be here doing, right? All of the goals, getting the education, finding a career, finding a husband, having my 4 babies, because later I was reminded that at 3 years old, my higher self came in, my galactic family came in and showed me that I was going to have 4 babies. I was shown my future. And so I came running out of the kitchen, out of the bedroom, and I go, Mommy, I'm going to have 4 babies. And she just kind of looked at me and said, oh, that's nice. So I knew that she didn't really comprehend that I knew I was going to have 4 babies. It wasn't something that, I've just decided. It was something that I was shown, because number 4 is the number of completion. And so when I logged on here and the time said 444, I'm like, oh, how amazing is that, right? So I know that I'm in alignment with the divine plan of my life when synchronicities like this, and Spirit is saying, see it here, believe it, right? And so to drop the hope, and knowing that everything is lining up in faith, with faith and trust that I'm walking the path, the spiritual path, my divine design, in alignment with my higher self, and allowing the embodiment. And for me, it's like being totally and completely embodied in this moment and actually tasting reality and experiencing life from that frequency. Like, because we are in the illusion of separation and we're seeing things from our programs and our limitations, we can't actually taste things fully because we have all of these programs running in our subconscious mind and our attractor field, our aura, that are because of the experience that we've had when we learn fear. And fear is the interference pattern. All of the lower emotions, the lower density emotions that are created from fear, anger, resentment, shame, blame, guilt, are actually create another personality. It's not our divine design. It's not our unique expression, what we came here to be. So anytime we express, like shame, blame, guilt, all of that. It's another personality because it's attached to an experience where we actually learn that frequency. And because it's that fear is, as long as we have that in our field, we attract that and we absorb it into our field, right? And when we talk about lining up and meeting people and repatterning, right? And I learned that, even after the life review and having the blueprint of my subconscious splashed in my mind's eye, reminding myself that when I'm out of body, I can become the consciousness of anything that I'm watching. And I've moved into the consciousness of people to see what's driving their behavior because I wanted to know. I want to know what's driving this bus, right? And because I know that I'm one with everything and everybody is me pushed out, I want to know what's driving their bus. Like, what's driving you to do what you're doing? What drives you to think the way you're thinking, right? And so that's what assisted me into being able to move into other expressions, consciousness, to see what's actually driving them to their moment, right? And it's been quite a journey for me because when I did have the life review and I was reminded of my out of body experience when I was pulled out of my body and shown the whole, like that I'm not just the one thing speaking. I'm also, there's an aspect of me that hears me speaking. I know that I'm the projector and the projector did. And but I didn't really realize how that film that's running through the brain as the projector is created. As long as we stay in the same story and we hold those frequencies in our field, we're going to keep repeating ourselves and meeting the same, like what Tywanah was talking about, meeting those people that are there to and that could trigger us, right? So as long as I see those people that come into my field and go, oh, thank you. I see them as a gift because they're reminding me of something that's still in me that can be triggered, that isn't of my true self, that's not of my true nature, my true divine self, because it can evoke that angst within me. And so then I look at myself and say, okay, where did I learn this here? And where can I accept that aspect of myself and transcend and transmute it? I was inspired from Source because I used to do automatic writing, and Source would come in and say, you have to write this. I go, what? No, like, leave me alone. I'm so busy right now. Right? And I'm sure we all do that, where can you see what I'm having to do down here? Life's not so easy down here. Like, give me a break, right? But on this one day, I did write I wrote about transcending and transmuting to allow for the transfiguration. So it's up to me to transcend and transmute any frequencies that are interfering with me fully embodying my true self, my higher self, so that I'm totally anchored and seeing with the eyes of my higher self, which sees is consciousness itself, not just the intellectual mind, the program. And so how we can experience this is like being totally present. And when you look at something, when you're looking at it, you don't not just identify it as a separate thing, you actually become the consciousness of it. So you're being the essence of that flower. You can feel the essence of it. And just drop into this moment. And what doing sessions with people, I realize that not everybody feels safe in their body. And so the first thing I do when I do a session with somebody, I says, is it safe for you, like I say their name, is it safe for you to be in your body? And if they're not safe in their body, they actually can't embody. If they can't even embody their spirit, how can they actually be in alignment with their higher self? Like, it's absolutely impossible, right? So, and then I say, and then after we make a clearing to allow, for them to feel safe, what would it take for them to feel safe in their body? come back to themselves, right? And then it is so and so in their body, and the thing is, I invite them to listen to themselves, listen to their own body wisdom, because when we are the directors of our energy, we're the directors of the subconscious, we're the directors of source energy. And I saw that when I had the life review, and it showed me how I actually instigated the out of body experience. I goes, oh, so I was the one that initiated it, and I had faith and trust. I had no doubt that I wouldn't be shown how God sees everything, right? But I didn't know. I still had that program in my mind that God was a being, like outside of me. But in actuality, it's this consciousness in the field of awareness, the intelligence that flows through everything. And it's always here, flowing through my life and my affairs. But I still think I have to figure it out, right? Instead of just surrendering and allowing that intelligence to come forward. And that's what Tywanah's talking about, the intuition, right? Aligning the gut brain with the heart brain and the brain in our skull. And so I'd like to share a little exercise that I do to initiate the heart, brain, and gut coherence, is to just drop into this moment and just see if you can feel your feet on the floor, if you can feel that energy flowing, feel the electricity flowing, feel your heart beating, and feel the breath. And then just become aware of that there's a light cord that runs through the body, and it runs through the star chakra above our head, and it runs through the star chakra at the bottom of our feet. So I'm just going to get you to take your awareness and go up, up, up out of the crown chakra to the star chakra and out into the cosmos, and connecting with the physical reality, the universe. And then dropping your awareness down back through the star chakra, down through the crown, and just resting at the thymus gland for a minute. The thymus gland is the master gland for the immune system, the detoxification system of the body. It's also the seat of the soul, the high heart. And we're going to just drop down down the spine, down through your root chakra, and down through the star chakra below your feet, and just surrender to it. Just allow and see, like, just loosen the body up, and just, it's your hairline, and you just want to align all of your energies. We're just going to invite an alignment of all aspects of self, invoking all aspects of self, all disassociated aspects coming into alignment, and inviting the higher self into alignment, and then just dropping down into the heart of Mother Earth. And from the heart of Mother Earth, we go down into the galactic center. And now just bringing that up, bringing your awareness up, 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 till you get to the thymus gland. And you can tap the thymus gland. And the thymus gland, you will feel electrical current going to the mitochondrial DNA when you tap the thymus gland. And if you feel like you're getting reactivity, like a flu symptoms or whatever, where the body is like too much toxicity, energetic or physical, you can tap the thymus gland, right, to activate the immune system. But we're also activating the seat of the soul, opening the gate to the light within. So now we're gonna go drop into your core, the core of your being, the light, and claim, I am the light of the world. You are Sophia in physical form. You're a divine feminine, and the males are all sacred masculine.
Excuse me. 2 minutes. You're 2 minutes
Okay.
over.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. So just bringing it back up. And just breathing into this moment. And just bringing your awareness to your physical reality, and just see if you notice any different there. And thank you. And yeah, so I just wrote, what I did is some affirmations so that they're shared in the, yeah, my offerings. I just did a write up aligning with the divine, or your ultimate timeline, or the timeline that you're supposed to be on. So yeah, it's in part of the offering. So
Thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Well, I have the honor, the privilege, and the luck to introduce our next speaker, one of my dearest friends. We're going to get into some trouble at the end of the summer when she comes to see me. Angela Levasseur is an intuitive channel transformational guide and the visionary founder of the Phoenix Passage, but that is not all encompassing of the beautiful woman that she is inside, outside. It does not even begin to touch on her gifts, okay? A sacred, results driven space for those ready to rise from confusion into clarity and from limitation into aligned power. Known for her grounded yet deeply, can't tell you how deep, intuitive approach, Angela helps individual navigate pivotal life transitions with precision, insight, and unwavering support. Her connection to the unseen began at a very young age, evolving through years of exploration in tarot and the paranormal before culminating in a profound personal awakening. That journey became the foundation for her work today, where intuitive channeling meets strategic guidance. Angela integrates tarot energy healing, Reiki, Akashic insight, and shamanic practices to create transformative experiences that move clients beyond surface level awareness and into true embodiment. I can also attest to her character. This woman is stellar. Driven by a passion for growth, mastery, and service, Angela continues to expand her expertise while remaining devoted to one core mission, guiding others through the fire of transformation and into the strength, clarity, and self-trust that define their next chapter. May I introduce my friend, my sister, my counterpart, my cohort, my partner in crime and trouble, and Angela Levasseur.
Thank you so much, Tywanah. That was absolutely beautiful. And yes, I think we're going to get into some trouble when I visit for sure. My speaking is going to be with regard to the true twin flame journey. And especially as healers, many of us are well aware of the fact that we are going through major shifts in timeline, major solar flare awakenings in general. And a lot of that does encompass those who have twin flames or soulmates that have been in the ethers, and they are now starting, and we're not necessarily the first wave, but we are starting to very much unite. And what that's doing is it's strengthening not only our healing within ourselves and our healing within others, but I'm going to basically give a snapshot of how it's also balancing our feminine and masculine identity in our own selves, as well as when we're doing all of this, it's strengthening the collective. And many, many people aren't aware of that. So essentially, for those that are not aware of what a twin flame happens to be, the thought process is that our spirits have existed as pure energy prior to us becoming these physical bodies, and that originally there were certain souls that existed as one specific flame of consciousness that actually separated into two separate beings. And that is essentially what a twin flame is meant to be. And that we were sent into the world as twin flames to learn and grow and experience life from the different perspectives. And with twin flames, you can meet your twin flame in many, many lifetimes. And one of the reasons this is very dear to my heart is one of the most profound awakenings I had was when I met the person that I knew was my twin flame. However, prior to that, I met something called a false twin flame, which was a very interesting journey into itself. So, contrary to popular belief, a twin flame isn't just a romantic partner or a typical soulmate. A typical soulmate is generally a friend or someone from your soul family who supports and walks next to you. So very much like all of you, I consider as soul friends and family. And essentially, a twin flame serves as your mirror. And literally, they represent all of your fears that you may have. And we've been talking about it several times today, what you may be fearing from any of the unhealed wounds that we have, of any of the lessons that have been repeated, any of the ancestral contracts and vows that we might have. And it really does encompass healing portions of all of that by virtue of what it is that you are being triggered by with your twin flame. And many times it involves a huge time frame of separation. So it's very, very rocky. Normally you will experience, you'll get together and then something will happen that you're separated. And you think, oh my goodness, why am I being separated from it? I really love this person. What's going on? Really and truly, you're being protected by divine because they're going through their healing. You're going through your healing. And unbeknownst to most people is as you go through, and generally the feminine happens to heal first, though we both have feminine and masculine genders within us with regard to the twin flame journey. Normally the masculine will have to rise to meet the feminine. And as you journey upwards, you ultimately heal yourself and them, and vice versa. They heal themselves and you because you were initially one flame. And this is something that is an extremely difficult and profound journey, but it's something that cannot be equaled by anything. And generally we have one twin flame. You can have many soulmates. Soulmates can appear as, a family member, a friend. They could be a teacher to you, a mentor, etc. 99% of the time, twin flames are a romantic person, however, not necessarily. And there are some very, very interesting characteristics to them. Very often they could live at a great distance to you, so it involves a long distance relationship. They could be several years either older or younger than you. They could have a totally different background than you. And these are just a few of the very common characteristics. You can also be an earth individual and have a galactic twin flame. And that is very common as well. So essentially, though, it is a sacred cosmic meeting that the universe has decided to put the two of you together. Now, you may feel the longing for many, many years prior to meeting your twin flame. And some people, a lot of times, it could be an individual who's married, and you realize because you feel it within your heart center. That person's out there. And it's only when both of the souls are at a certain level that the universe decides you are going to come into context with each other. And usually they are very unusual circumstances when that happens. Generally, when you do have a meeting of some sort, it's an immediate energy shift. It's an immediate recognition that this individual. Very different from a soulmate. It's a familiarity. It's a sense of peace. It's a sense of knowing that this individual, even though you may never have met each other before. And when you look into their eyes, the eyes are the windows to the soul. That's absolutely true, because you can see your past lives, and immediately sometimes you will find that recognition, you'll feel the click, and you just know. And I can attest to this because this did actually happen to me, and it's still continuing. I've lived many past lives with my current twin flame, and we're still going through the journey. And it's just amazing the amount of synchronicities that we've had as we learn and discuss things. And it's funny because generally the other big factor is one is not necessarily a believer of twin flames and soulmates, and that's exactly what happened in my case, whereby he does not really understand the whole twin flames. He said, I don't believe in twin flames. And I'm thinking, you may not believe in twin flames. However, I know for a fact that you are a twin flame. And many times one is much less awakened than the other one. So the other thing that is very, very interesting is that your heart always recalls first rather than your mind. And as you journey through this progression, which can take many years, you ultimately will start to realize you are a mirror. So they don't just show you your beauty and your talents and your light, they show you your hidden darkest secrets as well. And it's all of the fears, your insecurities, the emotional wounds, things that you have literally ignored for many, many years. And that's why it can be a lot of closeness, it can be a lot of pain, it's a lot of panic, very common, more so with the masculine than the feminine. There's something called a runner chaser dynamic, where as soon as they get too close and they start realizing, oh, there is something here, they will pull away. And the worst thing, and I liken this to something that I learned long ago, the worst thing you can do is to start chasing them, because like a butterfly, if you stand still, the butterfly will come and land on you. If you try to chase after it, it's going to flutter away and you may never ever see it again. And as I mentioned, essentially, they panic because they start to realize this is too good to be true. And many times what happens is we do actually manifest each other. And I laughed because when my twin flame and myself met, and it was a very odd meeting that transpired for us both to be in the same space at that time during that situation, I asked him, I met him through a mingle with singles event where I was subbing in for somebody, and the whole rules were the fact that we aren't supposed to date clients, etc. But it was really funny because I said to him at one point, he was wearing he was wearing a crystal very similar to this, and I knew immediately there was something very different. So everybody else was talking about dating, we're talking about crystals and dragons and interstellar things and paranormal experiences. And breaking all of the rules, I passed him my phone number and I said to him, we need to get together because there's way more to this that meets the eye. And because I felt it without any hesitation whatsoever. And then we were at another event together and I said to him, what is it that you're looking for? He described it to me and I said to him, that's very interesting. Listen to exactly what you said, because you manifested me. And I had actually physically written down in a book what I was looking for from someone. And he was literally my manifestation as well. So, by all means, it is true. It does happen. And the universe does put that person in your path. They may not look exactly like what you were thinking of. They may not have exactly all the qualities, but, please rest assured the universe knows what it's doing. And when the separations happen between the twin flames, and it has happened several times, it is the pause so that the souls can do their internal healing. They can look at their shadows. So it involves a lot of shadow work. It involves a lot of being in hermit mode and working on yourself and healing those wounds, and ultimately learning to love yourself and identify, why was I doing all of these things? Very much like Tywanah mentioned and Alyson mentioned and Sophia mentioned, where you're constantly looking for those qualities in another person. And this is what many people don't realize that the twin flame journey is about. It's finding those qualities within yourself. And when you are ready and you reached a certain level, you don't have to look for those qualities in someone else anymore, because you have learned to love yourself so deeply that it truly hasn't mattered whether you are with someone or not. And that was a really big eye opener for me. They really and truly are a sacred catalyst to you. They help you to dismantle all of the illusions about love. They help you to release and the ancestral wounds, to release any kind of um, old habits that you might have, because you start to realize, I am safe with this person. And your whole system literally calms down, and you realize, I don't have to beg for it. I don't have to be someone I'm not for it. I can truly be me, as much as, they still may be very mesmerized by you and not, a little bit unsure of what's going on, but they learn to accept who you truly are. And you learn to accept the fact that I don't have to hide myself. I don't have to hide my light. I can be exactly who I'm supposed to be and who my soul ultimately is supposed to be. And they happen, see, and I'm getting tongue-tied with this. They help you to establish boundaries. Boundaries is a very big thing for me. And essentially, despite the distance, and despite the time, we are always bound to our twin flame, whether we realize it or not, even across many distances. As I said, it could be galactic. We communicate in the 5D. I always have communication, and actually my twin flame and I have very strong telepathic communication, which is absolutely wonderful and very astounding on occasion. And the love surpasses all time, all space, all physical world. You really start to realize you are a being of energy and unconditional love. And it is completely heart-based. And it is something that, time does not exist. Time, in fact, when you are together physically, time is just, it goes by in an instant. And you are so peaceful and just so happy with your situation in the way that it works. You don't realize. And it really truly is a dance of the two souls together. So it's something that, there are not a lot of souls that have twin flames. We all have soulmates, but not everyone has a twin flame. Those that do have twin flames, though, if you feel that pull towards someone, there's a very good chance, especially if you can't get them out of your head, or you're in a situation and you look at someone and you think, you're very familiar to me. I don't understand why, but you've gone through that. You're together, you're apart. You're together, you're apart. It can take many, many years sometimes. And it's not until you're each at a certain healing level that you will come back again together. And then you will grow apart, and then you'll come up to another level. You'll come together until you get to a level where it's actually sustainable, that you can be together. So if anyone has any questions, I will certainly answer anything that is there.
Wonderful breakdown and explanation of the twin
Thank
flame
you.
journey, because everybody believe, well, not everyone, but social media would have us believe that it's, about being a soulmate and not that mirror. So
Exactly.
thank you
Yes.
so
And
much for
that's,
breaking that down.
well, thank you. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to make that point, because we are in a situation now where everybody's going, oh, we have to love each other and we have to be together. And that's not the whole premise behind a twin flame at all. It's establishing the feminine and masculine qualities within yourself so that you can actually meet the person you're destined to meet at some point. So.
Yes. And the twins so many times are the ones that are going to make you react. You're going to grow a lot with them.
Absolutely, 100%. And it's amazing, leaps and bounds, how much you grow once you truly let go of all the fears, and you can start realizing that I am who I am supposed to be, and I'm happy now with myself. I don't have to go and look for something outside of myself, whether it's some sort of a distraction. Could be alcohol, it could be other people, it could be all sorts of other situations, or you're just chasing a dream that just doesn't exist. And that's what it is being happy with who you are and just truly discovering who you are.
Thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you.
We're in sync, Monica. Monica, oh my goodness, I can't say enough about her, and I don't want to start to tear up. Monica and I have become very close. I consider her my soul sister, because she's a star. But Monica Ramirez, the warrior of love, is a master of inner transformation coach, author, speaker, and founder of the Path to the Heart transformational system. Monica helps healers, coaches, energy workers, light workers, and starseeds connect with higher consciousness while healing the beliefs, emotional wounds, and unconscious patterns that keep them from fully trusting themselves and their gifts. Through a unique blend of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, transformational coaching, channeling, Akashic records, and quantum healing techniques, the beautiful Monica guides her clients to reprogram the motherboard of their being, transforming limiting beliefs at their root so they can step into greater confidence, clarity, and purpose. I'm one of the recipients of that. I can vouch for it. Her work goes way beyond developing intuitive abilities. Monica teaches practitioners to heal themselves first so they can hold space with integrity, avoid projecting unresolved wounds onto their clients, and facilitate deeper, more authentic transformations. With decades of experience and a wide range of certifications in coaching, energy healing, hypnotherapy, and multidimensional practices, Monica empowers others to awaken their gifts, embody their authentic selves, and build heart-centered lives and businesses that create lasting impact. Monica's talk is a channeled message from Maya, her higher self, with meditation.
You're on mute, Monica.
You're muted, love.
Thanks. Yes, I received this message from Maya. I asked her what we're going to talk today, and she gave me a message that is for you, and we're going to be ending with a meditation, a short meditation. So the message was that as a human beings, we learn by different experiences, and we always are looking for love outside of ourselves. But at the same time, when we're looking for that, that's when we lose ourselves, because we are always begging. We become the beggars of love in a way. We compromise so much ourselves that we tend to forget who we truly are. Ask any relationship that is going on right now that you're having. How many times you have compromised and you just lose completely who you are. But it is not the fault of the other person. It is that you forget to honor yourself at the end. We tend to please them, or everybody, just for looking for friends, for looking for that love outside. Amaya wants to remind you that you're always love in all the levels. So she wants to remind you that do not look for love or approval or validations of anyone, because whoever you're looking for that validation, they're going to give you for the lens that they have for their own selves. So that's why it is so important that don't look for that validation or approval of anyone. Start approving yourself, The more that you believe in your own self, it is the way that you are going to be believing in you, and your life is going to start transforming. So, and I wrote it down a little bit of what she told me. She wants to remind you that you're a sovereign being, that you share your energy with everyone that you choose at the same time. But that doesn't mean that those are the best people around you so many times when you're around. I'm not saying no, but we are, depending on how what we believe ourselves that we worth, that's what we're going to be attracting with that vibration. So observe first. Don't look for that validation. Don't look for that approval. Remember that you are worthy without looking for that validation from others. And that's where so many times we get stuck when we're looking for that. We have to understand that our own energy, it is worthy. It is worthy for ourselves without trying to give it to anyone that will accept it just because maybe they will give us some love or some attention or will listen to us. It is more important that we give that to ourselves and stop looking for that outside of yourself. Now, she asked me to give you a meditation. So it's going to be a short meditation that is going to be, we're going to go and have a journey to the crystal cave. So you want to close your eyes and let's take a big breath and take it to your stomach. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it out. Let's take another big breath and take it to your stomach. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it out. Let's take another big breath and take it to your stomach. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it out. Let's take another big breath and we're going to take it to our chest. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it out. Let's take another big breath and take it to our heart. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it out. And the next breath, you're going to take it to your lungs. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it out. And next breath, you imagine it, you take it to your head. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it out. Next one, we're going to take it again to the head. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it out. And one last time, we're going to take it again to the head. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it out. And now with your eyes closed, send your awareness to your feet. And imagine your feet at the roots of a tree. And they start going down, down, down to the floor. And continue going down, down, down. Passing through dirt, through stones, through sand. Continue going down, down, down. Passing through water. And continue going down, down to the center of the earth. And in there, in the center of the earth, you're going to find a crystalline heart that is alive and pulsing. And it's going to open that heart, Mother Gaia, so you can anchor your roots on her, feeling that unconditional love and support and protection. Feeling that we're gonna go bring that energy up, 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 up to roots, up to your feet, and continue going up, up, up to your ankles and your knees, and continue going up, up, up to your hips, and continue going up, up to all your spinal cord, relaxing it more, and all your internal organs, up to your neck, and to the back of your head, feeling how it relaxes in the here and now, and the top of your head and your two eyebrows with your eyes and behind your eyes, feel how they relax, and your nose, inside your nose, through your mouth, inside your mouth, through all your throat, and feel how it relax all your body in the here and now, all that energy of Gaia. Now we're going to send our awareness to our heart. And in our heart, we're going to see a spiral staircase going down, 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 down to the center of your heart. And in there, we're going to encounter a crystalline cave. It's full of stones of quartz and onyx and different stones. And in there, you're going to find like a pool made of onyx that you have a water just exactly as you like the temperature of the water. You're going to go in and you're going to relax in there. And you're going to start thinking in all the love that you want to receive and all the acceptance that you want to be accepted. But this time, we're not going to look at from outside of us. We're going to look inside of us, feeling that love, that acceptance that is already within us. And I want you to feel it. That goes all inside your body, that acceptance and that unconditional love that is within. So now you can start feeling it in your bones, in your nerve system, in your cells, in all your body. And start irradiating what doesn't help us, any energy that does not help us. And it's coming out from our body and it's going to that water. And that water is magical. And it just converted all that energy and more unconditional love for us in that acceptance of us. Any insecurities that we're feeling, let it out and let that water convert it in conditional love for us. Feel how that acceptance of you, just as you are. That love, how we're giving it us back to our own selves, from within to without. Not asking us to change, not asking us for anything, just accepting us as we are. Feeling that inner peace. Feeling that love. Just observing us, every single part of ourselves, even the parts that we don't like. We're accepting it. We're observing them. We're accepting them. And we're loving them because it is part of ourselves. And letting go what is not yours. Letting go any energy that do not belong to you. And bringing back all your energy that you have given freely or not freely, conscious or unconsciously, bringing it back to us in the here and now, in all the levels, in all the dimensions, in all the timelines, in all the bodies, into the here and now. Into the here and now. Into the here and now. Now, feeling more in peace. We're gonna come out from the water, completely dry. We're gonna go up into the spiral cases again. And when we're going up, giving thanks to all our beings of light, source energy. And coming back to your heart, feeling that love, that acceptance, that approval of who we are. We're going to come back to all our body, feeling our feet, and moving your fingers, moving your hands. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Is there any questions? Not only about my experience, about any of the speakers. You have more questions because the next month is going to be very interesting, right, Tywanah? We're going to have the Lion's Gate.
Monica, we appreciate your presentation. You are absolutely phenomenal. I love your techniques. Always enjoy the journeys with you. And with that, I will allow our lovely host, if she wishes, to
Yeah.
tie
Thank
us.
you so much to everyone. And we just want to invite you for the next month, the next healing portal. It is going to be from the Lion's Gate. So we're going to be working with that energy. All the next speakers for the next month, of the month of July. So if you have any questions, please do before we close down, or any comments.
Always
Yes.
beautiful. Thank you, Monica.
I just want to say I find it absolutely amazing, and this happened during the very last one that we did as well, that all of the speakers seem to be in sync with the topic. And again, that happened again today. So you know that it's always divinely synchronized and divinely timed by the universe. I found it absolutely beautiful and wonderful, and I feel so very, very blessed that I'm able to be such a part of a beautiful community like this. This is truly home. So I thank you all for being part of my soul family. Thank you.
Thank you
Bless
so
you,
much.
sister.
That's how I feel about the Healers Helping Healers community. They are family. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. With that, we are at a close, and
And
our lovely, amazing host can get some rest.
so the gifts are in the chat, guys, and you're gonna be receiving it by email. The gifts of all the speakers too. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Gratitude, darling.
Monica. That was lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Absolutely fantastic and definitely much needed.